This KISD Coaches Show is supported by Coach Henderson Sports Photography, Modern Appliance, Killeen Veterinary Clinic, Denali Roofing, CChelle Visuals, and Cloud Real Estate. Well, welcome to the Josh Sadler Show here on I-14 Sports. Glad you're joining us for tonight's pregame show, or whenever you might be listening to this. During the day, even. That's why we put it up during the day, so they can listen to it on the way to the ball game,
right? Whenever
they want to. So that's the way it works out. Well, 2-1 in district play.
Right.
That's good. But Midlothian last week, they're a bear, huh?
They're a good football team. Real good football team. They execute well on offense and defense and special teams. And they just had a little bit more than we did on Friday night. Our kids played great. I thought they played hard. In the game, I was a little frustrated with some things, but as I watched the film, I just watched the effort our kids gave, and I thought it was great effort. We just got to find a way to execute a little bit better. It didn't come down to effort for us. It came down to execution. When you play those option football teams, you got to tackle the dive, the quarterback, and the pitch. And there were about 5 times in that football game that we did not handle all 3 assignments, and all 5 of those plays were big plays for them. Turning point in the game was the fake punt on 4th and 5. That hurt us. There in the third quarter. It was a tight ball game. We were getting the defense off the field, and they ran a fake punt on us on a rugby-style punt and converted, and that ended up, they scored on that drive, and then we fumbled on the next drive, and they scored again, and it kind of got it to a 3-score game to where it got it a little bit tough for us at that point in time. Got a little bit out of hand, and then we lost our control and our cool a little bit in there during that span, and so a lot of learning things going on in there, a lot of teachable moments. So that's what we focused on Saturday and Sunday was, making sure we had those moments, coached up on our end so that we could teach the kids and just find a way to get better. Again, I thought our kids played hard. I thought they played hard, but we just got to find a way to execute better, especially in big ball games.
Yep. Well, did you come out healthy?
For the most part, yes. We got a few dings. Those guys offensively, the way they run their offense, it's a lot like what you used to see out of Navy and Georgia Tech. Those offensive linemen cutting and all that. So our defensive line got a little dinged up, but overall came out healthy. Yes, sir.
Well, you got a great trainer to take care of.
Absolutely. Yeah, Doc Beeman does a great job. Her and her staff, they take care of them and make sure that they get back by Friday, hopefully. But for the most part, yes, we're healthy.
Well, 2-1 in district play, we said, and you're back home.
Right.
But you got an unfamiliar face to us, and you may know him a little better being over that way.
Yeah.
But Lake Belton.
Yeah. I'm familiar with Brian and his offense and, his way of kind of doing things. The difference is he's got some cats over there right now. He's got a 4 or 5-star receiver. I don't know what he's rated at right now, Micah Hudson, and he's a dude. He is legitimate. You watch him on film, you see him in the highlights. He's as good as advertised. And he's got a quarterback that can get it to him. So, that's a deadly combination. So, they're well coached. They're a good football team. They're very athletic. And we're going to have to go play a good football game in order to give ourselves a chance to win.
Yeah, they haven't been around a whole long time. But like you said, Micah Hudson, 5-star recruit, I think is what he is.
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody that didn't offer him a scholarship.
Yeah.
I think just about everybody did. So, even out here at Tarleton, and Killeen. So,
Well, anybody that's out there, they'd be dumb not to offer him because he is good. He is real good. He's good at that position as I've seen. Brings
and
back
young.
Yeah, and he's young and he's as good as I got a chance to coach Quentin Johnston, who's at TCU right now, and I think he's going to be an early round draft pick. Came out of Temple. He reminds me a lot of him in the way he moves. He's not quite as tall as Quentin, but he's still got those same qualities. He catches the football very well and moves real well. So we'll have our hands full. That's for sure.
I know teams have concentrated on him, double teamed him up, and slowed him down a little bit. But then you get hurt the other way, like you said, the quarterback will hurt you and the running back will hurt you.
Correct. And there are 2 running backs. I know one of them very well. He was a Temple kid, and so I know him, and how he likes to do things. And he's a tough kid, and he's a good runner. So yeah, again, we got our hands full, but it's still it's not an immovable task. It's something that we know we can do. We've got a good game plan, and we just got to go out and execute. Again, in big ball games, first you have to play hard, and secondly you have to execute. And that's the part that we're working on right now, is working on that execution piece and making sure our kids do exactly what they're supposed to do on every single snap, for however long we're out there and just playing as hard as we can while we do that.
Well, you threw 3 district games and 6 games overall. What about the kids? Who are you seeing out there that's really shining for you?
On defense,
I know you hate to single somebody out. But,
and I'm not that guy, but I'm really pleased the way Cameron G and Tirso Lopez for the most part. Now he got ejected in Midlothian's game, but as far as him playing the game of football, those 2 linebackers have played really, really well. And up front, Aaron Barnwell, he's a guy that everybody's noticing now. They're double teaming, they're running away from him, they're doing some things that those offenses normally don't do because of the way he's playing the defensive line. On offense, Rod's he's coming back and getting a little bit better every single week. Jacoby Deloach is doing a heck of a job, and TK Landors is the deep threat now. He's starting to make his presence a little bit known there. And so you see some things really starting to grow in there, and we've got to be good at the execution piece. We got to make sure that we call the right plays and the right downs and distances to make sure our kids have a great chance of success.
Those are your huddle heroes. Those are the guys you see on the huddle. And you go, oh my gosh, what are we going to do here?
Right. Yeah, I see them growing not only as athletes but as men too, and that's the most positive thing I can say in that. I see all of them growing as men, and that's where I'm very proud of them. We have hiccups. Tirso had his hiccup last week, and that's okay. We have a policy here. If you get an unsportsmanlike penalty, you're going to do your 1,000 yards of bear cross. There's always a consequence to every action that happens to you as a grown man. So that's the way we're going to treat him here. And he's handled like a man, and I'm very proud of the way he's done that. He jumped out there and said, "Coach, I'm going to hit him as fast as I can." Put a smile on his face, and he's hammering down on him. And the whole time, what that does is, from a senior, is it shows the younger kids how to handle adversity. It shows the younger kids that when you get there's something in life that you don't like very well, you just don't turn and run the other way. You face it head on, and I'm very proud of him. That's you can find a silver lining in anything. I think there's a positive in anything that ever happens, because we all make mistakes. And in this situation, this kid he's taken this situation that was out of his control a little bit. And we didn't think he should have had the second personal foul, but it happened, and he's made it a teachable moment. He's made it a leadership moment, and he's done a heck of a job with that.
Well, it sounds like you've done a heck of a job molding this team together and making a family out of it.
Well, I tell you what, we got a good coaching staff.
Yeah.
It's not me. It is never me. And what I always try to do is I'm always going to try to hire guys that are better coaches than me. I think that's the only way you develop a staff that can get you to the promised land, so to speak. I'm always going to go after guys, and try to push them to be a better coach than I am, because, they're the ones that are hands-on more with the kids than I am in position meetings and in position practices and things like that. But I'm really proud of our coaching staff and how they're bringing the young men along.
Well, it's always great talking to you, man. I tell you,
Yes,
when
sir.
I leave here, I feel a lot better about myself.
Well, maybe one of these days we'll get a chance to go fishing and we can share a bunch more stories.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, sir.
But go beat Lake Belton so we can go to Lake Belton.
That's the plan. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Final word?
No, just it's a great day to be a Roo. I'm excited in the game plan that we've got, and I just, I pray every day that our young men, take these things, these lessons, and help them, down the road. That's the biggest point of our program is the football is a byproduct. We want our young men to become grown men and be great husbands, great fathers, and great community members.
All right, go Roos.
Go Roos, baby.